Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse on what makes me happy, makes me sad, makes me laugh, makes me cry, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we're musing on something that makes me very happy. It is the Thrawn Trilogy and the Hand of Thrawn Duology. I like to think of these 5 books from the expanded universe and Star Wars as one big arc. I argue you actually might be able to just read all 5 of them from beginning to end and get a magnificent, coherent story. Though there are several books that you might want to read in between. But let's look at some of the things I want to say about this. Yes, precious. First, let's start with the Thrawn Trilogy, starting with Heir to the Empire. The Thrawn Trilogy, also known as Heir to the Empire Trilogy, was written by Timothy Zahn between 1991 and 1993. In addition to Thrawn, the trilogy introduced several notable characters, including Mara Jade and Talon Karrde, characters that are absolutely friggin' amazing. Approximately 5 years after the events depicted in Return of the Jedi, the Rebel Alliance, now known as the New Republic, has driven out the remnants of the old Imperial Starfleet to a distant corner of the galaxy and is attempting to set up a functional government. Princess Leia and Han Solo are married and expecting twins. Luke Skywalker has become the first in a long-awaited new line of Jedi Knights. But thousands of light years away, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the last and most brilliant of the 12 Grand Admirals, has taken command of the shattered Imperial fleet and prepared it to attack the New Republic. Thrawn is searching for a dark Jedi to join his side and is confident he can restore the Empire. Oh my gosh, when this book first came out, understand, before the internet, minding my own business at the mall, and I see it right there in the bookstore on a little display. Understand, I did not have the internet. I did not know this was coming. Where we were getting our Star Wars information, things like Wizard Magazine or Starlog. And if you didn't get them or subscribe to them as they would come in your mail, you didn't know this stuff was coming. So I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, it's finally continuing. Because we loved Return of the Jedi, even though it had a great happy ending. Of course, in our heads, I'd always imagined all sorts of different endings, different things that were going to happen. And finally, we got it. And oh my gosh, this book, page turner. Couldn't wait to share it with my friends, talk about it with my friends. And of course, we had a whole year to wait to the next one, Dark Force Rising. Dark Force Rising, which reveals that before the Clone Wars, the Old Republic had constructed a fleet of highly automated heavy cruisers known as the Katana Fleet. A virus had infected the crew of the entire fleet and driven them insane. The fleet was never seen again until smuggler Talon Karrde discovered it several years before the events of the first book. So I don't want to give too much away if you haven't read them, but that's the next one, which is continuing the story begun in Heir to the Empire. And I should have mentioned before, I mentioned it in passing, Mara friggin' Jade. That's all I got to say about that. Mara friggin' Jade. The most awesome character we never saw in the movies. We've only seen her in the books. Amazing. And destined to become the wife of Luke Skywalker. I remember thinking they are so going to hook up at the end of this trilogy. So I was a little bit disappointed when we got to the end of the Thrawn Trilogy, The Last Command. This time I'm in college when it surprised me when it came out. Got it, read it, loved it, lived it. And Mara and Luke did not get together at the end. But I did not go Annie Wilkes. Because it was not too long. It was only 4 years before we started to get the next part of the story, the Hand of Thrawn Duology. Dawn Spectre of the past finds Thrawn seemingly resurrected 10 years after his, spoiler, death, when he reappears to lead the decimated Imperial forces against the unstable New Republic. A record surfaces called the blah, 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 blah document, which indicates that a small group of Bothans were perpetrators in the tragic destruction of the planet, blah, 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 and causes more than 100 alien warships to gather in orbit over the Bothans' home world, which the Empire hopes to use to its benefit. Here's where something went terribly wrong, though, because in the middle of all of it, Luke and Mara. They are got to get together, don't they? I don't know. Oh my gosh, but Luke has a vision of Mara dead. And he decides he's going to go after her. Be still my shipping heart. It did conclude in Vision of the Future, which, oh my gosh, was an amazing conclusion to not just these 5 books, because I consider them all 5 one big story, but also the Bantam kind of era of the EU before we move into the New Jedi Order. And part of the Vision of the Future is leading in to that. And yes, my shipping heart was shipped, sailed, docked, and delivered. Mara and Luke finally together. True soulmates. And it wasn't flowery, it wasn't any of that. She is the perfect mate for him, and she is also an awesome character in her own right. So, please, messieurs and madames, if you have not read any of these books, I really actually hope you weren't listening to the whole thing because I just spoiled a whole bunch. But if you've been on the internet and if you kind of know what Star Wars is, I don't think anything was given away. Everyone knows that Mara was Luke's spouse, Luke's beloved wife. Read them, enjoy them, live them, love them. I consider these 5 books to be perfection.